Streaming now, this is the Wood TV Live Desk.
And good morning, everyone. Phil Penarski here with the Wood TV Live Desk. Hope you're having a fantastic start to your Wednesday. The Grand Rapids Public Library has welcomed the return of one of their more unique events, and there's still time for you to check it out this year. Adult Storytimes are back, and joining us today to talk a little bit more about them is Andrea Kosher with the library. Andrea, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, absolutely. And first off, kind of wanted to talk a little bit about the history behind this event. Adult Storytimes, how did that idea sort of come about to really offer sort of a way for adults to maybe turn back the clock a little bit and experience story times again?
Well, I've been presenting kids story time for years, and it's one of my favorite programs to do. But, I am an adult and I like to be told stories as well. So I just thought, what if we just gathered a group of community members together, we told them stories, sort of maybe recreating, telling stories around the campfire that people have been doing since people have been around. So we just tried it last year, and it was just really well received. Everybody who came had a great time. So we're bringing it back this year.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned bringing it back this year. What was sort of the response last year for you guys to bring it back? Was it sort of like an overwhelming success, and you thought, well, we just have to keep this going for as long as we can? It
really was, and the people who came were very invested in us bringing it back. I think it's the first time I've ever been heckled from the crowd with, when's this coming back? So people really wanted us to do it again, and we had so much fun. It was kind of a no-brainer for us to bring it back.
Right. No, and this year, they're being held at Golden Age at Creston Brewery. Talk about some of the things that people who decide to come on out to these adult story times, what are some of the things that they can expect to either be presented to them or really just sort of the overall vibe that they can expect there?
It's really, a very welcoming environment, very laid back. We're just all there to have a good time, listen to some stories. It's a wonderful way to meet new people in your neighborhood, connect with your community. The library provides appetizers for the first 30 or so people who come. There are drinks available for purchase. It's really just a very welcoming, fun environment. And people last year, I know, got to know each other that came to all of the programs, and it kind of became this really great community by the end of the series. And we're hoping for that again this year.
Right. No, and there is sort of this circling of different guest readers that are coming out to these this year. Andrea, can you talk a little bit about who will be available over the next couple of months throughout the rest of the year?
Yeah, we really wanted to have a good variety of community performers. Last week we had Michael Travers, who is a stage and screen actor. He did a wonderful job. This coming up one is going to be our Halloween celebration. We're going to be doing some spooky stories. And entertainer and host Dee Dee Shantae will be presenting stories and hosting that event for us. We have Lisa Knight, who is a local actor and also a second ward commissioner for the city of Grand Rapids. She'll be in November. And then actor-director Matt McKay will be with us in December.
Right. No, very excited about all of those. And you mentioned the first one has already taken place, happened on Monday. Andrea, can you tell us a little bit just sort of how that went? Obviously bringing it back, it was pretty popular. Everybody was gearing up and ready for it to come back. How did that first one go this year?
It went really well. Once again, we had a very enthusiastic crowd. They're really engaged and, waiting to hear a good story. We had a nice variety of stories. We had some funny ones. We had some kind of heavy ones, but we were told at the end that it was a great variety, and everybody who was there said they'll be back at the next one. So that was really fun.
Absolutely. And of course, Andrea, that next one is on October 16th. As you mentioned earlier, and then there will be ones on November 13th and December 11th. If people watching want to know a little bit more about the schedule and who will be those guest speakers, you can find that right now over on our website, woodtv.com. And Andrea, before we let you go, we really do appreciate you coming on, but we want to hear from you. Obviously, you've done a great job kind of explaining the ins and outs of an event like this, but from your own personal opinion, why should people consider, whether they've been already and maybe they're thinking about coming back again, or maybe this is the first time they're hearing about it, why should they head on out to these adult story times the rest of this year?
It's just really fun. You can meet new friends, you can connect with your friends that are there. We're so grateful to the Grand Rapids Public Library Foundation for funding this event. Our next one in October, costumes are encouraged, so we're hoping to have just a really great time at that one and the other two as well.
All right, sounds good. Andrea, thank you so much for stopping by. And before we go, I want to remind everybody that if you want to know a little bit more about the adult story times, or you've got questions about the rest of the schedule, you can find all of that right now over on our website, woodtv.com. If you're watching us on Facebook, just click that link in the description box or the comment section. It'll take you directly there. Andrea, one last time, thank you so much for stopping by. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And I want to thank everybody else for tuning into this latest edition of the Wood TV Live Desk. I'm Phil Penarski, and we hope you have a great rest of your day.